What's up guys, so it's well known in the entire world that French are rude. Well, that's not true. It's a Parisian thing. I mean, in Paris it's not polite to not be sulky at least 5 times per day. Ah bah ouais, ils font tous la gueule. But I can understand they are way too stressed by their daily lives. You know, the métro, boulot, dodo, subway, work and sleep. I mean, it's stressful and tiring. And it takes a lot of muscles to be able to smile. But this is just a Parisian thing. We real French, the ones outside Paris, we're not rude. We're just unpleasant, grumpy, ostentatious. I love this word, it sounds pretentious. Contemptuous, in other words, superior beings. So today let me debunk for you the fact that French are rude. Because we're not, we're just French. And I mean, even for Parisians, they're not rude, they are Parisians. So, are French really rude? I hope you'll enjoy. By the way, the answer is no. So first reason why we're not rude, but it's just customary, one word. Bonjour. You all know this word, like no matter who you are, you can come from no matter which country or like inferior place. You know this word. Bonjour. If you're the one coming at us to ask a question, be the first to say bonjour. Even with an English accent, we don't care. But we will not be the ones to say it, because it's customary in France that the one who's coming to ask something will be the one to start the conversation. Fuzz, to say bonjour. So if you're telling me, yeah, I went to France and no one told me bonjour, my first thing is, but did you do it? Because yes, we can definitely become the worst jerks ever if you're not saying it. Can I ask you bonjour? Yeah, but I wanted to know bonjour? Yeah, no, but I wanted bonjour! Bonjour? Yes, how can I help you? That was not the French being rude. You were the one being rude. So come at us and be like, bonjour. Then wait for us to reply. And after we replied, go with your question. And that's an important thing. Wait that we reply also with bonjour. Don't start like bonjour and then ask your question, because that's also seen as something rude. You need to wait the other person to enter the conversation. So you come, say bonjour, then we reply bonjour. Most of the time we'll even say, how can I help you? And then you ask your question. Second reason I found saying that French are rude is about service in restaurants. And that makes me so freaking angry when I see that, because you guys have no sense of service. Like in all the other countries that I went, you go into a table and like you have a waiter coming on yourself like a freaking flea. Like waiters are here to suck your blood. They're like literal leeches. And I'm not talking about the fruit. In France, we like to eat. It's part of our culture, you know, the French gastronomie, la French cuisine. That's something that we love. So when we go to a restaurant, we like to have a table for ourselves. We like to spend 45 minutes at a restaurant, spend hours sometimes if we're with friends. We don't want to have a waiter every single second on our back. And when you guys are coming to restaurants in France, waiters are treating yourselves like French people. That's it. So if they are not constantly here like, oh, do you want water? And do you want water? And do you want water? And fuck you! That's just because we don't work this way. Cause I saw everywhere, yeah, the service is so rude. No, it's not. It's just different. Unless you're in Paris, then once again they are all rude. Oh, damn it, I said no more Paris jokes. But that's too hard! And adding to that, the tip is not mandatory in France. So you give a tip only for great service. Based on that, our waiters are meant to be better. Because if they want to get a tip, they have to give you great service. It's not like in the US where you feel obliged to give a tip, because if you don't, the waiter will probably become homeless and then die in the cold. Reason number 3, and this one is backed up by science. Boom! And it comes from a psychologist. Yeah, so not really backed up by science, because, you know, psychology, I mean, it's kind of like everyone who didn't make it to med school went to psychology, so... So it comes from a psychologist called Kurt Lewin. Yes, he's German. But I mean, that was an easy guess. Every single German are called Hans, Franz or Kurt, so... Okay, racist joke done. Gotta collect them all. Cringy jokes. So according to Hans, the world is divided into peaches and coconuts. I told you, the level in psych. So basically, most of you guys are peaches. That means that you're juicy, tasty, and I want to take a bite of... Well, no, I mean, that means that you're friendly on the outside, but cold-hearted on the inside. Paw, paw, paw! And actually, I'm okay with that because I have friends all around the world. But I only have great friends all around the world. So it doesn't make sense. Anyway, we French are coconuts, meaning that we seem harsh at the beginning, but when you get inside, we're juicy, tasty, sweet, poetic, romantic, sexy, amazing, artists. I mean, we're French. But that's actually kind of true. We French people, compared to the US culture, are way less warm on the outside. We need to know people to become genuine and really good friends and open ourselves. So to a lot of people, French are seen as arrogant, when really you just need to go further. You need to pierce our shells. You need to come into our homes, share our beds, and have amazing sex. I mean, we need to become acquaintances for us to open ourselves fully. Number 4, we are seen as rude because we don't speak English. Well, that's not being rude. That's just called being stupid. No, but more seriously, French speak French. That's a fact. And as stupid as it might sound, English, despite the fact that it's worldwide, it is not our language. If I go to the US and start speaking in French to a waitress, or speaking in French to a bus driver, or speaking in French to your mother, and if you don't have one because she's dead, to your sister! Pa pa pa! Family joke done. I think I'm good. No, but more seriously, if I do start speaking in French, no one will answer me. Because you don't know the language. I will not be the one being like, whoa, Americans are so rude. Although they are. I mean, no, what? I've heard so many stories about that where I have friends who came to France and told me that they asked something in English and French people were just looking at them like they were dumb, stupid, and not answering. But I mean, they didn't even try French at the beginning, or didn't even apologize for not knowing how to speak in French. What do you expect? This is the same in every single country. If you want to start in English, be my guest, but at least start with, I'm sorry, I don't know how to speak French, but do you blah 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 blah? And of course, start with a bonjour and wait for the reply. And you'll see that actually French and even Parisians are not that rude in the end. And number 5, my last point why most French are seen as rude is because you don't get that most of the time when you're coming into France, it's our work days. It might be your holidays, but it's not ours. And I'm telling you that, but that's exactly the same for French tourists. I mean, we all, because it's a human thing. Because humans are complete garbages. But when we go somewhere, we assume that everyone is in the same state of mind that you are. Like if you're angry at something, you will see that everyone else is angry. If you're happy, everyone else needs to be happy and have a great life, an amazing day. That doesn't work like that. Think the opposite. If you have someone who's coming into your country and he's like, yeah, holidays! and coming at yourself asking you thousands of questions for the direction, for where's the place to go, where's the place to be, when you're so freaking stressed because you're late for work and that's already the third time and your boss is here, so you're going to get fired and then become homeless and then have your wife and your kids and your dog and your cat that will leave you because you will not have money anymore and you will die alone and commit suicide. You might not want to answer those questions. And what I described you is the daily life of Parisians. Boom, that's all for me, putain! And this is the end of French are so rude. No, fuck you, they're not! I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to put a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to my channel. Go follow me on all my social medias because there I'm rude, ostentatious, contemptuous. I mean all those amazing adverbs that are not adverbs but adjectives. Nah. You can also support me on Patreon so that I will be able to buy more PS4 games and maybe one day I will be able to put nasty gaming back on track. And no matter what happens, I will see you in my next video. Have an amazing, full day. Don't forget to smile and bye-bye!